Okay, let's get all the chat settings set. And we should be rolling. There's a little bit of a delay. I'm not really sure how much of one. Using this format. Anyhow, good morning. Make sure we're plugged in. Okay. Okay. So we're going to continue painting this factory. That's what it said it was in the package, was factory. I don't know what kind of factory. I don't know if the factory stuff was over here that was destroyed. I have a sign here that I'm having some mental issues with. I've come up empty so far on what to frickin' put there if it's a French factory. I was going to leave it blank, but then I thought, I'm probably going to use it for France more than anything else. So there's probably no harm in actually painting a sign on there and then doing that thing where I can put another one that, if we go somewhere else, if we go to Russia or something like that, we can change the name of it. But I'm just going to have to make something up. I'm not getting any traction looking at pictures at all. There's even places that sell like, Berlinden and stuff like, Berlinden's old signs. And I wonder if I can just flip back and forth and it'll bend like that. The old signs, they have like roads, they have all kinds of signs, but they don't have anything that's, even industrial at all. So I think I'm going to have to pull something out of my ass. That's okay. I know my way well around there and do something. Because unfortunately, it's kind of like a big effect on there. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell this building is. It's almost like, yeah, and then what's really weird is the access to the second floor. I talked about this yesterday. Is like through this hole, through this trap door. And I mean, there's a significant amount of stuff up here, that would be so. I don't know, ultimately, it's really not that important, but it just kind of irks me that, you've got some kind of an access point here. You wouldn't just have a ladder because hell, there's even a third level. And what's weird is you would think that as you went up in levels in this building, the access should go from easy to more difficult. In other words, I can buy having a ladder that goes to like a rooftop something, right? Where you rarely go up there. Maybe you need to go up there to like repair the shingles or something wrong with the whatever it might be on the roof, some kind of repairs. But this level is obviously someplace that some work happens, and and the only access point to it is basically one hole there. These guys just build buildings and they don't really think about it. Maybe I'm overthinking about it. Maybe, okay, we still have the floor to do. We still have to bring the floor all the way up. We're close. Actually, I'm going to flip this back over so I can remember what colors we were on this crusade here. I mean, it's not hard to remember. They're right here, but it's these. This is the floor for this one. There we go. There we go. All right. And yeah, I'm on here for about an hour and 15 minutes. And then we got to pack up to get out of town. I did make a purchase yesterday. El Cheapo brushes. Good morning, Jeffrey. Some El Cheapo brushes. And these are a lot more than they used to be. This was like $6. So I'm going to cut these out and add them to the mix. Actually, the brushes that I like the least are the ones that have the bristles in black. Because most of the time, I'm using a dark color. Oh, look, I've got these. Maybe I'll find, oh, I get 3 of them. I can use these for spreading cream cheese or something. You know? We're going to do something cool, roads. I may need that. All right. Yeah, this like a black bristle, not very useful. Okay. So, I'm not going to dwell on whatever the hell this factory has done because it's unlikely in an hour and 15 minutes I will get everything done. So I don't want to dwell on that. But I'm going to have to come up with a name or something of this thing. And, I mean, I can't just put factory on there in French because it's like, okay, what's the factory of? I mean, I could, but it would bug me. So. Kind of wish it didn't have a sign on there, but. Anyhow, we're doing, right. We're doing, where is the color we were using for it? Was it for the intermediate? Let me find myself here. Okay, it was this one. Yep, Country Tan. All right, let's just go ahead and put some of this straight on there. Ooh. Sounds of excitement. You buy cheap brushes whenever I can get them at the pound store. I love that. I love that. I'm going to go to the pound store. Is that where they have the whores at? Also, pick up big makeup brushes for dry brushing large models and buildings. Yeah, I just haven't bought any in a while, but I really wish I didn't have to buy all this stuff made where, but there's no fixing that. So I just try to look the other way and hopefully my soul can survive it. Fuck it, let's use a new one. Let's use a new one for the floor. So let's see. Well, I don't really like this one. And I'm using a light color, so let's use a dark bristle on a light color brush. Boulangerie. Well, I think that was just a joke that it was a what's the eagle? Oh, the eagle? Boulangerie, the eagle? Is that like a? I don't know. You know what? I'm going to save that because don't think I can't make that. I can't um, write that all on a sign. I certainly can. So boulangerie is a place that makes is a bread place, right? Is a bread factory. And how do you say that, by the way? Agle, le agle. Bakery. I might just go with that. Don't think I can't type that on there. I'm gonna put that somewhere. You know, I have all these freaking pads. I got more little writing pads than I know what to do with. And did I leave them in the garage? Because I freaking need them out here for stuff like this. One of these days I'll get fully moved in. Here we go. Yep, I brought some of them in. Excellent. Okay, because we need to have this around. Eagle. Eagle. Boo. Long. Jury. This keeps like disappearing. Went to a French bakery in Miami I'm gonna say a year ago, and I was really disappointed. It was obviously not a good place because like that's like the that's like the bread people, man. I mean, the French are like the bread people. Even people that don't like the French, I'm not one of them. Um, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of French people I don't like, but there's lots of Americans I don't like. Um, um, I only dislike the French when they're fighting my Spanish. Fuckers. Um, um, Even people that don't like the French like French baked goods. I mean, what the? I mean, they got that stuff down. I mean, that's no. I didn't wash this brush. It came exactly from the freaking factory in China. I didn't check. It might have actually not come from China. Yeah. Okay. Good. This is where we pick up where we left off. Yeah. Don't think I can't write that on there. I certainly can. I don't give a shit that it's long. I'll start in the middle. So I was thinking I'm just going to probably just paint it on there. And if I have to make it a freaking Russian place, which, the Russians wouldn't have all this nice trim. They'd be like, oh, put the bricks and have a nice day, you bastard. They'd say all that, except they wouldn't say have a nice day. There is no nice day in Soviet Russia. The only thing I don't like about these buildings is they have a lot of brick showing. And for France, there would be brick, but it would be covered with spackle. And yes, I could come in and spackle all this, but I do have to go to work in a couple days. So boulangerie is bakery. What is what's the one that's pastry shop? Pas the pasteur, whatever it is. I guess that's a niche. Ha! I actually used niche correctly. Because it's, never mind. I'm not even gonna try. Eagle Bakery, good morning. No USA if the French didn't intervene in the first Civil War, War of Independence. Yep. Yeah, if it wasn't for the French, this would still be a British gulag. There's this one. I'm not even going to get into it. There's some people that shouldn't have a voice on the internet. There's some people that need to be silenced. Some Marxist from some anti-capitalist person. Hey, capitalism isn't. There's definitely problems with capitalism, but yeah, you don't want to go back to the Soviet system. I'm sorry. There's nothing good about that. Patisserie. I pronounced it correctly too. A lot of people pronounce it niche. Well, look, I speak two languages. I kind of speak one of them. No, and I don't mean English. I kind of speak the other one. Now, I don't have a formal education in Spanish at all. So I my intent is to pronounce things correctly. I think it's important. Um, Certain things are important to different people. Like I think geography is super freaking important, and I'm particularly interested in it. So I love maps, and I want to pronounce things correctly if I can. Now, I'm not calling those Indian cities whatever freaking names they changed them to. It's still Bombay, Calcutta, Madras. I'm sorry. Okay. But I'm not going to go so far and call it's Madras. No, we're not going to do that either. But I want to pronounce things correctly. Burma. Still Burma. And you would have been living in a Spanish colony. Nah, I don't think these guys. My people are fun at parties, but they don't manage wealth really well. I was just talking to somebody the other day about my ancestors and the shit they did wrong. Not everything, but I'm just saying, we invented inflation. Inadvertently. And then we kicked everybody out of our country that knew how to manage money really well. Really short-sighted, But no, one of the problems that Latin America has is this whole system of they sent somebody over here to run everything, and then they kind of, abused the system. There basically was no, you could basically pay money, or you can be one of the 3% or the 2% or maybe even the 1% that got away with doing whatever the hell they wanted to. And that's the problem that Latin America has. One of the problems that Latin America has is that, you can, fuck me up the ass. And I don't mean that in a good way. What? Just a little bit of a delay. My magic saliva. Ta-da! Didn't think you were going to see that today. What's your super weapon? Magic saliva. Interesting. Maybe that's why you guys tune in. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. You see what I did there? Oh, drink. No, but I was telling him that's one of the problems is he shouldn't be able to, the law doesn't apply to you. The rules don't apply to you just because you have more money. And I was telling him that's one of the things that we used to think didn't fly in this country, but maybe it was always prevalent and we were just too stupid to realize, or too idealistically naive to realize it's always been going on. But some of us don't live our life that way, even if the elites, and I'm not anti-elite, but I'm getting really annoyed that, we think that A is going on and Q is really what's going on. But anyhow, not to get into current events or anything, but I think this has been going on forever. Just many of us are just too idealistically naive to see it. And we're not looking for that. I mean, we're going to work and we're doing this stuff, So when let's see how we're looking at balance wise here. A little bit more of this. This one looks better because it's got attack of the magical saliva. I didn't know it was going to work. I just had to think fast before it dried, and then I had to repaint it. Good morning, Ben. Ben Waddy. I thought for sure you were like rode a camel or something like that. Here he comes. Who's that? Oh, my cousin Ben Waddy. Which is fine if you rode a camel, Just don't have him spit on me, You got bad tempers too, I think. Got a friend of mine that can do a camel impression really well. It's actually surprising. A camel could probably learn a lot from him. Let's get up in the corner here in a little bit. I don't know where I'm going to store these things. Well, for now, they all fit in here, but these things don't grow at an alarming rate. So if some of them are out on display and a lot of them are boxed up, that's fine because they'll be somewhere that's out of the elements. Let's do a little bit more white. Now, I'm happy with this one. How'd we do? I think I need to bring it up. Well, if this is fact a bread factory, the floor should be a lot more lighter colored because there'd be like dust and shit. I don't know what that sounds like a good idea. Maybe unless I cut them something else. That it would be a nice challenge to make a sign that big and hand paint it, which isn't. I don't know if I'd call that a challenge. I can do that. It'd be like saying, "Oh, my challenge is to walk to the front of the neighborhood." Like, it's just walking, exactly. Not really a challenge. And I'm just going to do the same color roof tiles that are. I tell you what, if that's all the roof tiles that are on here, there weren't very many on the roof because there ain't no roof left. Got blown to smithereens. Uh-oh. I recommend Prisoners of Geography by Tim Marshall explains why there are areas always conflicts in certain areas of the globe. Interesting. I got some new Viejo paints and whilst okay, we don't use that here. Okay. There's one of those whilst type words, and it's not that one. That one's okay. That just don't make any sense. And give me a second. Maybe I'll think about it. I gotta write this stuff down. Like you can tell the way somebody types where they're from. Like somebody in the United States, I could be wrong, okay? But when I see somebody explaining something and they write, firstly, you're not from the US. We don't use that term here. It seems awkward and it's probably proper English, but it's like you don't see that here, you know? Firstly. Secondly, yes. But they'd structure the sentence differently. I got some new Viejo paints, and whilst the new bottles do feel less sturdy, okay, is it these shitty ass ones? They definitely feel sturdy. They feel like they're half as thick and like brittle. They're like a cheap water bottle. As we discussed before, they do seem to avoid that money shot. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. What's that Japanese term for that? I don't know. I don't watch those videos. I also have a mini drawing with the AK matte varnish, so we'll see how well that works. Okay, well, that's good to know. Is that AK MIG or ammo? Or all of the above? AK interactive, MIG by ammo, ammo by MIG. I couldn't believe all the drama of that. I didn't know anything about all that stuff. But there's some people that drama just follows them everywhere they go. Now, some of it is their fault, you know. I don't know. I can't really fault people for, like let's say I wanted to start a business. I don't. But let's say I wanted to start a business and I'm some kind of artist or something like that, and I want to get into the business. And I'm like really good at the artist part, and that's what I'm really interested in. So let other people, and somehow, and I'm not saying this is the case in his because I don't really know what it is. It's super complicated, and I don't want to get into litigious shit. Like I said, litigious stuff should just be solved by duels. But anyhow, somebody takes advantage of me because I don't lawyer up. That would be me. I'm not. It just now if I make an arrangement with somebody, I mean I have a really high honor code. Like if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. But and if you say you're going to do something and then you don't do that, well, that's on you. But if somehow he gets taken advantage of in his company, I don't know. I don't know the thing behind it, but if he's making mistakes because he didn't lawyer up, I mean that's just being human. That probably would happen to me too. I don't expect to be taken advantage of. I don't expect to take advantage of people, and I don't expect to be taken advantage of. Maybe I'm naive. Okay, whatever. Um, that's just not how I live my life. I don't live my life in an environment where it's dog eat dog, and I don't live in a dog eat dog way. You know, I pull up to a parking lot, and somebody is waiting to pull out of a spot, getting ready to back out of a spot. I put my blinker in, and and it's mine. Not like somebody comes in and takes it from you and then flicks you off. Like that's South Florida. I'd survive a week there before I'd get arrested or killed or one of the above. I don't want to live in a place like that. I just Bukake, that's what it is. Yeah, I don't watch those things. I'm not even sure exactly what that. I've never seen one of those, so just like I always like to mention OnlyFans. Never been to an OnlyFans site. Why would I? You got to pay money first and then see if you see something of interest. Like, no, no, that's not how it works. No freebies on there. I'm a bit upset. The lids are all black now. Yeah, they seem chintzy. Is chintzy meant to offend people from China? I don't know. Piel de parásitos. Parasite skin. Oh, and here it says parasite brown. That's not an actual translation. Bastard. Bit upset the lids are all black now. I like to segregate. Oh, now we're talking about blacks and segregation. Okay. You segregate your Vallejo air from the model color by keeping the white lids from the black. Wait, I'm starting to sound like a Southern governor. Oh, man. Race is stupid. We're all just different tribes. Race is stupid. Race is like, humans, elves, dwarves. Race should be something that's like, you can't mix, like you can't have children with a zebra. Oh, so there must be a different race. Well, that's a different species, but, elves, that kind of shit. Race is like for D&D. Okay, let's fix the little over. Man, this is easy to do. You know what helps a lot? It'll sit on by itself where it needs to be. I don't have to like hold it, and that's kind of handy. I'm really enjoying this building business. We might be here. Well, I suspect we'll be working on scenery the rest of the year. Well, if this in fact is a baguette factory, they need to clean this fucking place up. Okay, this wall looks good. So we're going to flip it and we're going to see what mistakes we can find here. All right, and I guess technically this is the same side because it's sitting on the back. Yeah, I was waiting for that asshole to respond to me on whatever site that was. Damn Marxist. I actually didn't say anything directly to him, but it was like, I'm okay with people disliking all the things that we have in modern society that we've been fooled by, right? Because your opinion should change as you mature. Maybe we're all naive and we think it's A and it's something different. But to go back to stuff that we know for a fact was wicked, cruel, and fucked up, there's something. You're deranged, man. You're freaking deranged. Bukkake is more like going to Krispy Kreme and watching the donuts get glazed. I'm not going to say it. That stuff can't taste that good. I said it. Krispy Kreme's good. I never have it, but I pretty much have a cast iron stomach. High fat, high sugary things together, it hits my stomach like people can't deal with tequila. It's just too much. Especially the high sugar. I'm having coffee. There's no sugar in it. I put cream in it before I'd have sugar. Sugar just slows me down. I have too much ballast to deal with a lot of sugar. Okay, is this one balanced okay? Woohoo! Yay! My wife admitted that she likes my buildings the best than all the other stuff. I said, okay, well, good. So we can buy more buildings. Now, I'm not gonna. I need to finish what I have. I like the stuff that I have. Like I don't need to buy any World War II figures. I like all the figures. Well, I do if I need like dismounted tank crewmen or something like that. But I like all the figures that I have. I have figures that are out of production. They don't make them anymore. I was in a freaking great mood all day yesterday. I went into work. Any day that I'm like, man, I just need to go in on Saturday or on a weekend to, get ahead or whatever. And I get there and I'm 3 or 4 hours in there and no one's there. And it feels good to kick ass. It does. Aha! You sneaky bastard. Okay, well, we got that done. And the floor is done. So before I get pulled into the roof tiles, I'm going to paint this door. Or what's left of it, because it looks like it's, there was an expulsion. How do you know what Krispy Kreme is? I don't have that in Europe. If you ask me something like, hey, since you live in America, you should probably know the answer to this. Do people eat donuts for breakfast in America? My answer would be like, I don't know. I think it's weird to wake up. When you wake up, you need coffee because you need to, right, start thinking on your feet. Why would you have something that's super sugary and like going to make you want to go back to sleep again? So I don't ever have donuts, ever. I mean, it's just something if they made them illegal, I'd be like, okay, well, I don't want them to make things illegal, but. So it looks like this is a wooden door and there is some metal stuff that reinforcing it goes on it. So we will paint it accordingly. Now, because this is going to be on the outside of the building, I don't think I'm going to use craft paint for it because it's going to be less durable. Where are my glasses so I can find myself? We're going to go with, I think, let's get the good old racist SS camouflage black color, even though it's not called that. We know you still are SS camouflage black, even though you're called something else different. You have them in some places. They were bringing them in fresh every morning to a local shop for a year or two. 2 pounds for a Boston cream donut was a bit much for me, though. 2 pounds. That's yeah. I just like the regular ones, just the ones you see in glazed. But I mean, it triggers something. Sugar triggers it like like a cocaine type thing in me, where you can't have one. You got to have eight. And that's like a deadly dose. I'm big enough as it is without without eating donuts. We don't need that. Also, still a gamer size medium, but I'm not really a gamer because I don't like gamers to begin with, and they stink. I'm not an artist either because they stink too. That looks like a hinge. I'm just going to paint the whole damn thing brown, and then we can make the other distinctions later. I'm going to leave the black in between the pieces, kind of a little bit of a contrast. I'm sure we're going to be dripping some wash in there before it's all said and done. But the one paint I would have more of if I had access to it would be coat the arms. Man, I mean, there's nothing as satisfying as painting that. Vallejo is not bad. Most of them are okay. Vallejo. Vallejo. How's the Vallejo air? Too watery to paint with? I mean, I like the AK for airbrushing. I think it's trash to paint with. I mean, I can deal with thinning paint down. I'm all usually messing with the consistency. Oh, whoa, hello. Usually messing with the consistency of it, but no. Country ass tan. Let's try this. I'm lazy. It's here. See if I regret this. Wow, you could tell the pigment on the Vallejo is so much stronger that it hardly budged at all when I added some of this. I would rather have a sausage roll, to be honest. Make Vallejo air work with a brush. Sometimes it needs patience. Okay. So it's probably similar to the AK paints. I haven't bought any yet. Well, we watched another episode of The Pacific last night, and I was impressed how little I remember about it. I've seen it once. I'm kind of enjoying it. I mean, it's not Band of Brothers, but it's okay. Okay, this is good, but we got to make sure we keep this warm. Let's see where this takes us. Yeah, we'll be okay. I don't want to, I don't mind having it faded a little bit, but we need to have some warmth to the color. Or it just looks too drab. Niche. I've seen the word niche pronounced so many different ways. We need to dial this up a little bit because it's let's see how we're doing with this. Yeah, that'll be fine. Yep. Yep. We just need to leave some of the dark color in between it. It'll be fine contrast wise. Everything requires a little patience. I think the thing that helps the most with patience is expectations. At least for me. If I know something is going to be a pain, and it is, I'm okay. If I think something's supposed to be easy and it isn't, that's when the problem arises. It's all about expectations. I'm very affected by that. Boy, there's just not much left of this door at all. Let's just use this color straight. Let's ditch all. No, let's not do that. Although I can't say I've ever licked a brush and it tasted funny. Peculiar. Funny haha or funny peculiar? It's always funny peculiar. And I'm paying a lot more attention to this than I should. But hey, it's pretty memorable part of the building is the freaking door that's half-ass busted open. That's going to catch your eye. You'd make it look good. The Eagle Bakery. I need to have an Eagle logo somewhere on there. Maybe I'm trying to Americanize that too much, where we have a logo for everything. I know they have logos in other countries, but it just seems like we're very pro logo. Hey, it's pretty memorable. There's places that I don't even go to, and okay, this brush is starting to split. Bye bye. We need a little bit better control than that. What do we got here? Yep, you're hired. Yeah, they'll stand out nice from the brickwork, which is rather dark. I wonder what these originals were sculpted in. Actually, this is really, I think this is really complicated because this is all one piece. So like, it's actually pretty impressive that all this can be one piece, and it doesn't have that many bubbles. Got more bubbles on Millicast stuff. I thought for its level of detail, Millicast has a lot of bubbles. They're small, but I have a Martyr 3 that I need to repaint. It's got a lot of bubbles on it. I thought it looked good way back when, the job I did on it, but yeah, it's not up to modern par with the stuff that I've done lately. Okay, I'm going to make this bar across there like it's made of iron. And the one down here. Well, that's right along. When you paint something, I feel like 3 colors is a minimum. Just to add some depth. Or three layers. One of the layers might be a wash or something like that, but all right, let's see what I've done. Yeah, looks pretty good. Do I have any funky colors? Any funky metallic colors? Rich espresso, but yet it's metallic. Is that why it's rich? Because it's metallic? That ain't gonna work. Why do I have this? Weird. What's back here? It's that stupid Panzer III. Get your Nazi ass out of here. All right, we'll come back. We're probably going to give that a black wash over it. Then highlight again. All right. We have this ladder. It's going up the side here. She's up next. Get the metal flakes over there. Although I haven't had much of a problem with transferring metal stuff over. Oh, I just realized something. This watch sometimes loses time, and I almost feel like it has to do with somehow with the friction on my wrist. It gets pulled out a little bit and stops for a little while, and it's behind because it'll go a long time. And I changed the battery on it recently, so it's not that. It is rather old. It's a Swiss timepiece. Okay, I think that's a metal ladder because the way that's bent there, that can't be that can't be wood, which means we're gonna have to paint it as a normally be a black base. I'm gonna use really dark gray and see where that goes. Where's that Panzer gray? There it is. They call it German gray. They don't want to offend Panzers. This is one of these places that we're going to run some black line down when we're done with it. One thing that surprised me when I'm watching the Pacific, and I don't know if this is accurate, I assume that it is, the uniforms that the Marine Corps had, and I'm not talking about the dress uniforms, I'm talking about the ones that they're wearing every day, has the big pocket, it says USMC on there. It's terrible looking. It's got to be, it's worse looking than the US tankers uniform. That's saying a lot. It's like they almost look like gulag rats. It's got the herringbone twill, which is, distracting, but not bad in and of itself. All of them are like two sizes too big. It's got a pocket here and not a pocket on the other side. It just looks like it's just really poorly put together. Now, I don't have any U.S. Marines. I had no intention of doing anything in the Pacific that involves them. So I don't have any of the figures, but I'm like, damn, those uniforms look like trash. No offense to any Marines. I'm just saying, hey, you don't get to design your uniform. And it kind of caught me off guard because that's not really my area of operations. I'm also not a fan of those canvas things that cover your boots and your pants over, whatever they're called. They're not puttees. I'm not sure what the hell they're called, but they just seem extremely impractical. Maybe they're more practical than not having them on. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem like a very practical design. I guess it was just a stopgap until they came up with a boot that covered everything because they didn't use them later in the war. There's just some things that you have to kind of put your own personal spin on. You can't really do anything with that, but like if you're doing like pre-dreadnoughts, I'm not a fan of that whole the whole ship being damn near white, and then the ochre funnels. I think it looks ugly as shit. And maybe it's because the ochre is too close in color to the deck color. It just, there's not enough contrast in there. But like I said, the first color you put on something is the one that takes the longest because you got to cover everything. The other stuff that you're using for highlighting goes a lot quicker. Okay, that'll be the base that we will add some metallic elements to. Now, while that's drying, let's go back to the drainage from the roof. I'm guessing that's what that is. We're using pewter gray as a base. And we still have the Mr. White out here alive. Maybe not. No Marines got upset with that. Hey, I wasn't knocking the Marines. I was just saying, thought the uniform looked kind of stupid. We had a war game a long time ago that I want to say it was a modern war game we were playing. What is it called? Combined Arms. Frank Chadwick's modern set. And this guy that came back, he was in the service at the time. Young guy, probably in his 20s. But he was acting like he'd taken some shrapnel. And he came over to the table and he's like, "You got any players?" I said, "No, we're already started." And I said, "Oh, I'm a Marine Corps mortar man. I want to play some Marine Corps mortars." And then he just started like going off on almost kind of like his little spiel that the poor guys get brainwashed into. Like mortar base weighs 35 pounds, mortar tube weighs 15 pounds, ammunition weighs, he's just like rattled like I'm not even talking to him. He's over in the corner like muttering like a machine. And I'm like, man, what do they do to these guys, man? What do they do to these poor people? Maybe he was already messed up as it is. Maybe the drill instructor messed him up. Maybe both. I don't know. He's like out on like an Addy machine. He was just one of those guys that, I don't want to be in a shell hole with him because I'm like afraid of him having a freaking grenade and, I say that a lot. I wouldn't want to get stuck in a shell hole with that guy. Poor guy. No wonder they have trouble acclimating when they try to get back in regular society. I don't know, you always hear about the PTSD stuff that happens in modern times, but I never heard growing up any of the PTSD that anybody in WW2 went through. And I'm sure it was common, especially in the Pacific. But I never hear about it. Maybe it was just a different time where, the soldiers didn't feel like they were able to talk about it, or they felt like it, made them less of a man or something like that. I don't know. Maybe it's a generational thing, but I never heard about it. I'm also not reading that kind of, I'm not reading the kind of books that focus on that anyways. I'm going to finish these all the way and see where that takes us. But for that, we're going to need more of this. Oh, what happened to the white? I really need to get some other. When I buy these, I'm going to try to buy a folk art. The folk art, at least I think the folk art black is the only folk art one I have, and they're a lot different consistency. They're definitely less watery. A grenade weighs 8 ounces without the pin, with or without the explosive in it. Grenade 8 ounces. How do you know how much that weighs? Wait, you don't have the pin in? You crazy bastard! You're gonna blow us all to kingdom come. Yeah, the guy wasn't well. I don't know if he was. He just wasn't well, and that's why he went to the Marine Corps, or he was halfway there, and the Marine Corps took him the rest of the way, or the Marine Corps literally messed him up. So it was before. That was before the first. That was before Desert Shield. All right, let me put my glasses on and see what we've got. Not happy with that. but it's because some areas need more highlighting than others. You're behaving weird. Your ends are splitting. And there's a time that I actually want that, and then there's a time where I don't want that. And I don't mind this looking irregular because whatever tube this is made out of, and I literally went off of somebody's. They were selling some house or something like that by, I'm gonna say Verlinden. It wasn't that, and it showed this color piping on them. So I'm, if that person got it wrong, then I'm getting it wrong either, but as well. But I didn't want to make these copper, and they're not copper. There we go. That's a little bit more dressed up, and we're gonna drip the black stuff around it and make it pop a little bit more before we're done. That's a little better. All right, let's go to this side. The little French cafe that I have, that's the 3D printed building. It has a built-in like little lamp on the outside, the little shade, and I'm like, yep, that's gonna be green. Gonna be a little green shade on it. So go and paint it green. If you find something that you're, I think I went too far too fast. If you find something that you're dead set on what color it needs to be, go ahead and paint it that color. Don't try to figure out what all the, let's prop this up a little bit. What do we got that we can prop up? Oh, we got a universal carrier. Oh, no. There we go. I don't know who the hell makes that one, but cute little thing. Not exactly something I'd want to be in when artillery's falling. But I don't really want to be in anything if artillery's falling. Vickers machine gun. Did all Bren guns have the end of it that was stainless? It looks stupid. I mean, I like a Bren gun. I'm a fan of the Bren gun. It's a cool looking weapon. But I don't like it when the tip is like stainless looking. And the rest of the metal is not. It's the whole firefly factor. Let's make the end of the barrel a different color. I don't think it was probably for the same reason. One flip. 2 flips. I don't give a flip. I actually just gave 2. This one's far enough from the edge. I should be able to. I guess at some point, since we're on a tear watching this World War II stuff, we'll probably go back and watch Rogue Heroes. Although I didn't like the modern music in it. Just something that's not from a US perspective. Although a British perspective isn't that much different. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, it's got all Brits in it. I can't relate to it. I mean, yeah, I'm used to watching the Brits in World War II stuff. Kind of used to them being the home team too. Okay. And now let's flip back. Add a little bit of white to it. You need to find out how significant the Lend-Lease thing was to the Russians. I've heard mixed different things about it. Like, if Britain makes a deal with Hitler, does Russia lose? But I don't like Allied vehicles in Soviet hands. I mean, I don't like Allied tanks in Soviet hands. I'm never going to build any Soviet Shermans. I don't want them having Matildas. I don't know. Just it mostly has to do with they in Western hands the vehicles look better. You give them to the Soviets and they have no details and shit on them, and they're commie fuckers too. So. I'm fine with the trucks, but I got that M3 white scout car. Anytime you see one of those, I think of those in Soviet service before anybody else. I know other people used them, but every time I think of a white scout car, I'm like, oh, that's the ones the Soviets pretty much used, and nobody else. That's what you see. That's what the thought process is, at least for me. Okay, so that one's done. That side's done. This side's done. Let's do the front now with the piping. You know, if I was a computer guy, I'd make that little sign, I put it on computer and then print it out. That's not who I am. I'm gonna hand paint it. Hey, why does Eagle Bakery have to be trashed? Come on, man, that's not cool. What time is tea time in England, anyways? Is there a certain time, or just as long as you have it, you're good? Or is it one of those, you know, you better not go to a store at such and such a time because everybody's going to be brewing up? They got these pipes that are, I don't know, are they for the water that comes off the roof? Is it water lines? It's certainly not. It's certainly not sewage. They just take a shit out the window like they do in the rest of France. I'm kidding. All right, so we definitely need a sign there. Oh, we got the roof tiles to do. Little roof tiles. This is completely flat. It just doesn't look like it. Oh, we got to paint the rest of the ladder also. And these doors just freaking disappear. That one at least looks like it's connected to it. This door just gone. History. Yeah, it doesn't look like much. I think adding the figures to it. Whoa, hello. Is this not balanced well? You put one guy up here and whoa. Well, that's a design flaw. You put one guy over here and it won't hold still. Well, we'll probably have to put some stickum on there. to give it a little bit of resistance. Get that resistance. Anyhow. As somebody looked at this guy and said, "Oh, you have a guy named Guy." No, it's Guy, damn it. It's the guy named Guy. Tea time can vary in cricket. It's between 3:30 and 4:30. Okay, so it's like a dinner between lunch and dinner. I thought it was a brunch, to be honest with you. I didn't know. I just wouldn't like it. I just don't like drinking things that are warm. So I'm all for tea time, but can it be cold tea? It can even taste the same. Whatever taste you guys are into, that's fine. I don't like drinking warm things. Yeah. The guy named Guy. Yeah. Man, this guy's look, he's even got some brick on there. Jacques. He's got a little Free French symbol on there. Black Jacques Shellac. Panzerfaust Paulette. Yeah, so it's coming along. You know, we need to do a little bit of washing on there. The next thing I think we need to do is we've got to do the ladder, the roof tiles, and the sign. So the sign definitely has to be, the background color of the sign definitely needs to be light so that it pops off of this. So it needs to be a white or a beige or something like that. So that it pops off this background color, a yellow, something. Light green, I don't know. But I mean, it's got to be really light. I mean, it's got to be like, like that or something like that. So, would it be Boulangerie Aigle or Boulangerie de I don't know. I don't know. That's Jeffrey's the expert on the French language. I don't know. I'm fine painting any of them. Maybe I should do a search online and see if there's a place already called that, and then that would probably make sense. But I don't have a name for this place. I have a name for my cafe, but I don't have a name for this place. So, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to work on a town that's destroyed and then one that's in good shape. And I could alternate buildings, but whatever did a bombing run or something on this. This is definitely did a number on this place. But we're going to do the same roof tile color like this, like a blue gray. I don't know where the hell the roof tiles went, but they gone. They gone. But it's definitely going to have to be a light color, and I don't want it to be similar to the inside because that just looks lazy. So it needs to be white, or it needs to be something with a light blue, a little bit of a light blue tint, something that's going to pop off the Comrade pop off the color of the brick. So that's probably what we're going to do. Probably need to straighten out what the hell it's called. So I want no French guy coming in and saying, "Oh, it's not spelled that way," and then have to say something nasty to him, like Anyhow, so yeah, I mean it's a factory, but it's not very big. It's not very big at all. What do we have nearby? This? Yeah, one of these days I'll get these SU-76s complete. But I guess it could be something for, Berlin as well. Just cover the sign up with something else. We'll have to give the sign lots of coats so that if we go and we put something over it, rat house or something, I don't know. I looked that up today. I was looking at signs. Like, what the hell? The hell is a rat house? Like, I don't want to eat at a place called a rat house. You know? Yeah. So I looked that up, but call it something else for the Germans, because I could totally see doing a Berlin thing, because those Panther tank turrets are totally have that written all over them. So, but anyhow, I got to pack for the trip. So this is a good stopping point, and we got some stuff done. I knew I wasn't going to be able to finish it in this session, but as always, thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.